Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. This is my Superflat core world. That is to say that I have not got any access to the bonus chest, and we're locked into hard difficulty, and it is absolutely wild to play Superflat under these conditions, but you can see that even though it's taken me this long, I mean, look how long it's been, we've managed to get ourselves a safe base. It hasn't killed me yet. We've managed to get ourselves cherry wood, and now that means today we're going to manage to get ourselves a mob grinder and maybe even some sources of iron. For those unaware, first of all, isn't this so good? I can actually use wooden swords now because I don't have to... My wood is not in limited supply, isn't that great? But if you kill a zombie and you kill it using you yourself, not just naturally, it's got a 1 in 120 chance of dropping an iron ingot. In the same way a drowned has a chance of dropping a copper ingot. Oh god, this is bad. Oh, okay. I can't believe that all these cherry groves are actually leaving so many leaves, but they are. And so yeah, basically today we're going to be chopping down so much wood because I specifically would like to further my aims of not just making, hopefully, a decent little mob grinder, but also hopefully making a better world more generally speaking. I am running very low on food, but who needs food when you've got wood? That's something I'm going to live by because I'm making so many wooden axes with the intention being that I'm going to chop down as much wood as I can now to make this world better. What did I just... Oh, I have every... Okay, I have... I see what I did wrong there. I want to get as much wood as I can locked in now so that I can make my grand plans as easily as I can. Hello, Toycat. Can you believe that since you switched to semi-hardcore, you haven't died? I know, right? I was expecting, like, yeah, the way I play Minecraft just isn't very conducive to hardcore, so there's gonna be some pain along the way. But shockingly not. Maybe something about hardcore makes me play worse, and so you remove a tiny bit of the pressure from yourself, and it all goes fine. I mean, today I feel like literally the start of this stream is the closest I got to dangerous, but yeah. Make an end floaty boat with dirt. So, here's the... Also, GigaChad Toycat has unlimited wood. I have so much wood, internet. Let me tell you about my wood supply. But yeah, here's the cool thing about it. So, cherry wood is one of the best types of wood to get. I think it's definitely the most interesting, you know, for the sake of this as a series. Oh my god, I timed that poorly. Yeah, one of the interesting things about this is that cherry wood is probably one of the worst ones we could have gotten from a series perspective because we want apples. Apples only come from dark oak, and they only come from... regular oak, which means the only way we'll ever be able to get ourselves villager trading, let's go ahead and let's grab some, I'll put my dirt back away, I don't need too much of that right now, I wouldn't say. We'll just grab 29 of that and bring it out, and then we're going to make ourselves some swords, because I am going through so many swords, like literally like it is nothing. So let's literally craft 3 swords, and I'll be good for a while, and then in fact let's craft some planks, and then we can do that, and then yeah, it's a messy inventory, but hopefully it avoids me coming back to the crafting table every day, because that is something to avoid. So yeah, one of the problems this world has right now is mobs are just spawning everywhere. I upped my simulation distance, and it's led to all sorts of issues. So today we will be turning it down again. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, Dan, if we have dark oak and pale oak, does that mean we need striped oak? Time to grow zebra trees. You could probably already make a nice zebra tree looking thing just using those 2 woods next to each other. Very good idea, by the way. Anyway, how's it going, internet? How was your weekend? I had a very good one. Thank you for asking. I have an exciting life update if you want to hear it from what we've been talking about in the last few streams. And yeah, I'm excited to tell you about it. But first, I want to make sure we get our plan off to a decent start. I think the first and most important thing we need to do is just prevent these dark patches from being in my world. These cherry leaves are actively summoning mobs during the daytime, which I didn't think they could do, by the way. Like, I thought that light could go through leaves, but apparently I'm the silly one. And yeah, also, if anyone wants to help me move, I'm offering gratitude and hot dogs. Oh, you know what? Those are... That's a very good offer there, Cat. You know, I'm just saying, you know, weirdly enough, I feel like most of what helps with moving is like someone to be emotional support. Like the last time I helped someone move, the thing I think I did best, even though I was ready for like, okay, I'm going to move things in and out of a van all day. But then last minute they're like, we don't have a van, we have one of those like supermarket, like loading things. Like what is it called? Like you know, like it's a pallet loader. And then they were also like, yeah, we haven't packed anything. So I was like, okay. So what you need to do, you know, the whole day was like they wanted to be like, yeah, I'd like to do something else. And I was like, no, you need to move. And that was the best thing I think I could have done for them. But yeah, I feel like it's usually the same. Like, I think moving is like one of the most intimate things you can do with someone. You know, like, because you get to see someone's house when it's not being presented, right? I think even people who like keep their houses in poor condition still secretly inside their minds are like, yeah. But it's when I show it to people, you know, it's got to be like 10 degrees nicer, and you still probably in your mind would be like, oh, this place is, you know, like I feel like there's this weird judgmentalness inside of everyone to do about people's houses. So to let people see it at its worst condition, it's something good. Saturday, Sunday was fun, stressful. Monday was terrible, stressful. You know what? I feel like that's not too dissimilar to myself. I was really excited about today, chat. I had really big plans, and they just did not. I think this is the dumbest thing, but I think Let's Plays, they are some of my favorite videos. They used to be some of my favorite videos to make. So I'm holding on to this idea that I can make them. But every time I go to make them, I finish and I'm like, that took me so many hours. And even though I tried to make it the best I could, I'm like, it's one of those things where if you psych yourself up too much on something, you know, you do a worse job than if you just, you know, go into it naturally. I feel like I've gotten to that point with Let's Plays where I'm like, oh yeah, this does not, does not work in the slightest. Side note, but I'm, one of the things I'm hoping for today as we chop down all these trees is apparently cherry trees have a small chance of growing beehives. We haven't tested it yet, but I want to believe. So much so, the testing might make me sad because I might find out that it doesn't work that way. A whole hot dog? Sheet, someone's rich. You know, it's funny actually that you can get like, I feel like bougie hot dogs are a thing now, but it still hasn't shook the reputation as being the easiest good food, right? Because like, pizza's the easiest good food if you pay someone else to make it, but it's still free ingredients and a precise cooking time. Like you can overcook, you can undercook pizza. Anyway, let's stay on focus today. So I've been trying to. I love making Let's Plays, but I always am thinking to myself like, okay, we got to do this different special. It can't just be a regular Let's Play. People don't want to watch those anymore. And then every time I'm like, this took me 4 hours, and it looks like it took me 25 minutes. And I think there's something about that kind of is interesting. That like, there's something about with the amount of time you have, you want to make it look like you've done the most. Like there's something that's what I think is kind of like cathartic about this world, is knowing that in 60 days, chat, if I had built this much in a regular world in 60 days, I think genuinely people would be calling, the authorities to help me, right? Like, ooh, something's gone wrong there. Like, how is this what you've pulled off in 60 days? But in Superflat, it's like, yeah, the fact that you've done anything is awesome. Lowering your expectations is a great way to achieve more. One of the other ways to achieve more is working out, like, what do you do that takes a lot of time, but no one really appreciates? And I think I've, like, hit that point in some things. But yeah, so it seems like everyone's having a stressful Monday, by the way, chat. You know what would help? Some hot dogs. All you gotta do is make your way up to Cat Beanie's house, and, I hear there's lots of them available there. You just line up your saplings again, get ready for another daytime dark. But John of the Dad, I might be getting... So, again, if according to the Minecraft wiki... Oh, sorry, I will chop them down again. I think if they're not going to be near the things, it's not going to be good. According to one of the Minecraft wikis, cherry trees can grow bee nests. According to the other Minecraft wiki, the evil wiki, they can't. And usually, you would trust the good wiki over the evil wiki. But, sometimes you just... It's not that easy. Sometimes the evil people speak the truth. Sometimes we think people are evil because they speak the truth. So it's what we want to hear and what is true are not the same thing. Anyway, so chat, do you want to hear my life update? I try to like keep things very on track so you know what's going on. Actually, speaking of going on track, let's make our trapdoors now. We've got plenty of cherry. We can make that into lots of trapdoors very quickly, and then we should be good. We'll plant these just literally everywhere. I mean, if I end up with too many cherry trees, too many cherry trees, and then I can start using the rest for bone meal stuff. So it's not the world's most terrible thing if it ends up that way. We'll just place a bunch here, make another daytime darkness. Despite my efforts to do the opposite. And then we'll run over to the crafting table that I keep in this corner. And I'm going to make myself a bunch of cherry saplings. Because I desperately want this mob grinder to work, chat. I want to be able to say, ooh, yeah, I made a thing and it is successfully working. How well it is successfully working can be a debate for another time. So do you see the cherry trapdoor? That's the cherry trapdoor. All of that work got me 20 trapdoors. That's not very good, but we'll have to make do with it, I guess. So, also... Oh, chat, see, you can see, as I am starting my streams at different times, now what's started to happen is the sun has started to come in... Oh, what has just happened? Oh, weird. I opened Minecraft, but a browser opened instead. But not my normal browser. Yeah, I tested cherry trees at the end of last stream and got a bee nest. Says, very much craft. Okay, very much craft. Did you use a gilded sapling or a regular sapling? That's the important thing we need to know before we go any further on this assumption. So if we put these in there, it will stop the water from flowing. Which means what we need to do is very annoying, but we do have to lower these things here, because otherwise it's not going to work. We put a lot of work into lifting them up, and now we're going to put a lot of work into pushing them back down. I think this is the easiest one to do it on, because I have the dirt down there still. I just have to move the dirt down a block. Yeah, if I just do that, and then put trapdoors starting, like, here, it'll stop the water from flowing, but then also keep the mobs from getting out. I hope this is how this works, chat. I'm taking a bit of a leap here. I might need to lower the water and therefore change where it is. But if I put trapdoors like here, then what should happen, again, just should hit. The actuals are, oh no, that's bad. That's not. Although we can fix that by just placing dirt here and there. Oh, that didn't fix it. Okay, so then we need to go over here and we need to lower the water by a block. So that means placing things here and probably over here too. Yep, that's correct. And so it's very dark, but this should be the end of the concern here. So we'll place water there. We already should have done that. We'll remove that water and place it there for now. And then we'll remove that water, place it there. Okay, this is now functioning like it's meant to, which means we just put a few more trapdoors there. I'd be very careful I don't get knocked off by a skeleton or something. Again, I feel like we've accidentally maybe doomed ourselves. But look at that. Aren't these cherry trapdoors beautiful, chat? Aren't they just beautiful? And now tonight, again, assuming I don't just get knocked off to my death, we should be able to test this. So the problem last time was that mobs kept spawning down here. Oh, the water has come and gotten everything. So we definitely have to put a lot of this back. Easy peasy. Hopefully. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we put these blocks back. And now sitting down here, I should just see some random mobs fall into it. I'm going to pick up the dirt. Make sure no creeper gets me. Do you see any random mobs falling, chat? Because I certainly do not right now. But yeah, I'm sorry about the way the light works. It is technically fixable, but again, I have to change it every day because I thought it was so smart. And it's smart from like a lifestyle perspective to live in an attic. But it has so many downsides for the way I record videos. That hole over there, it's probably fine. Okay, so now we're going to go kill the witch for some redstone. I feel like getting redstone is one of my favorite activities. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the redstone. I just know I want all the redstone. I'll eat the cooked pork chops, or raw pork chops, I guess. And is that a new Wandering Trader, chat? Nope, that's the old Wandering Trader. Although, I should turn down my sim distance just to make sure that they get closer to me. So, yeah, I can confirm it was a normal cherry sapling from the creative inventory. Sounds like a gilded sapling to me. See, I can sit back a bit, but even then, not really. I could sit forwards far enough. But yeah, chat. How? Tell me more about your weekends. It's I feel like this was the first weekend in a while where I was like, yep, I'm gonna live by normal weekend rules. You know, I'm gonna do a little bit of work in the mornings, obviously, but like outside of that, I was like, I had stuff to do, things to get done. I think it was a good one in the end. I went and watched a musical, chat. You know, that's how That's how wild my weekend got. So I'm going to make a bunch of redstone torches just to free up inventory spot. That doesn't give me space for this, though, which is what I kind of want. I am having an inventory crisis. You are probably very aware of that. But if I just now eat this cooked beef, or I'll leave it on the ground. I'll go get some raw mutton, because I think wool is something that is very good. And so if we kill a few sheep, then that's very worthwhile. Gonna throw this on the ground and eat this. And there we go. Inventory managed. You said it couldn't be done, chat. I mean, someone said it couldn't be done, I'm sure. Put a trapdoor outside your window IRL. Boom, sunlight fixed. You know, I'm just gonna have a really enlightened speech for the next few minutes while it looks like this. Yeah, an attic is an oven in the summer. Can't imagine how warm it is in the attic. Yeah, it's the... I'm sure there are people who like that, but I feel really bad for, like... I guess actually, like, now that I say it, like, at nighttime, I'm sure it cools off quite well. Chat, do you hear all the parakeets outside of my windows? I'm sure it cools off, actually, pretty fine at night. So maybe it is a cool thing. Okay, so is this going to be my main chest for the world? Is this just where I'll store my miscellaneous junk? I think it will be where I store my miscellaneous junk. It's going to be tricky to work that out, obviously. But this should be a good enough spot for it all. Then we'll throw in... Well, no, we keep all the stuff in a specific place. And there we go. Just some slight managing. So, chat, I need to get myself 4 more emeralds. And the only way to get those... Because, you know, what I need is I need a wandering trader to give me oak saplings to make any progress in this world. But to get oak saplings, I need 5 emeralds. So I'm hoping my next wandering trader buys hay bales and he buys water bottles. And then I hope the next wandering trader, or even if it's ideally the same guy, but then I hope the next one offers me oak saplings. If I get offered oak saplings now, my life is destroyed because I know how long it'll be till I get offered it again. But it's, you know, it's how you have to live your life with these things, isn't it? We still are looking to get all of the gold sorted as early as possible. So this is going to stay that way. I'm trying to get my gold sorted as early as possible, but I'm not going to breed the pigs with all the carrots we have until... Although actually they need to grow up, don't they? I'm not going to do it until we get rain. When we have a rainy day, I think that's when it makes sense to do. Maybe? It's really hard to be sure in this world. I think it'd be cool if I, like, shoveled around all the dirt around this area. Just so I know no mobs could come and get me when I wasn't expecting them. And then I could just hang out and do a project during that time. Yeah, actually, that might be a good idea. If I build my little orchard over here by dirt pathing all the other blocks around it. Or I could dirt path the blocks around where it is right now. Make them impossible to be spawned on, except I'm still waiting for a bee nest, so that doesn't make sense. I visited the spot where I buried my cat's ashes. I'm very sorry to hear that, Dasher. That's a big task, but also, like, important to do, right? I think you definitely are gonna, you know, you got to do it at some point. It's one of those, like, I guess that's the truth for a lot of sad things. It's like, yeah, you know, you are better off for it, but it's like, you know, it's one of those things. Like, I know, like adding a bunch of sad, avoiding sad is bad. Even though, you know, in a weird way. It's messed up, because, you know, we spend a lot of our life thinking, like, oh yeah, happiness is good. And so what's the opposite of happiness? Well, you know, therefore that must be bad. Then the real world gets in the way and starts being more complicated than that. And never like when the world's complicated. Would much rather believe that it's not. Yeah, I could breed just a few more pigs. Just like a few, right? There we go. We'd even breed enough pigs and then just start killing the excess ones if we wanted to go crazy. Or we could make a second pig pit. Because that way we... No, I think 1 pig pit is fine. Hey, it's a wandering trader! Okay, chat. Please. Please. He needs to sell... He needs to buy hay bales. Oh, milk jacket potatoes. He sells cherry ashes. Is this the same guy? Have I just not killed him? It might be the same guy. I think there's a real chance I found the same guy, chat. Did I not kill him? So, if I haven't killed him, what we're going to do is we're going to kill him right now. I want the milk bucket. There's nothing that he has that has any value to me. And I've learned that it's easiest to do this in the daytime. Sell bucket. I don't think I'm going to sell the bucket yet. I think I'm going to try and get a second bucket first. And then I can sell them at the same time if I desperately need to. Okay, so... yeah, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and get a second bucket. And the way we do that is we punch one of his guys. I'm going to now punch him 19 times or something like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now he'll die in one hit from my sword, but not one hit from a llama. Okay, now he should drink an invisibility potion to hide from that damage he just took. Why is he not doing it? Chat, have I killed too many wandering traders? Oh, do you think the update they recently put out broke it? That must be it, right? It must be the Okay, I'm going to try one more time. It was working great before then. So, that's what makes me suspicious. Yeah, spit at me. Spit at me. You want to. I know you want to. Okay, so... there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, now when he drinks the milk bucket, go! And he doesn't drop it. Well, we did the best we could. It helps me get my next Wandering Trader sooner, presumably. On Bedrock, that doesn't actually seem to be perfect because you can get two at the same time. But we've started the process. We got our small chance for Milk Bucket. We didn't have anything more we could have got from him. And so that's the best we can hope for. Do you think I should switch to eating carrots soon, chat? I think I now have enough carrots that I'm never going to worry about. Like, I'm never going to seriously worry about running out. And then it will save me having to run around like a madman killing. Yeah, honestly... we could maybe even go crazy and switch to bread, right? No, that's too crazy. I'm going to eat my 30 carrots. After I finish my rotten flesh, which I'll do today, I can eat my carrots, and I'll eat my carrots as I make an orchard for the cherry trees that doesn't spawn mobs. That area is going to go from here, because I have to do things along chunk boundaries, more or less. So I think this area is going to be shoveled in. Yeah, we can leave the slime chunk there. We can build up the walls higher, or we can do something if we want to, right? So we're going to do that. Maybe build... yeah, we'll build the walls higher out of dirt here. Like, I'm picturing the design looking like this. So we can look in there, but we don't have to worry about it. Although then... yeah, you know, that's fine. And then we'll put, like, ladders up here so we can climb up top, see what's in there, and then walk back down. I'll do another one of these here. And then this area is going to be shoveled off, and it's going to be great. You don't plant potatoes like the ones dropped by the zombie. Yeah, I haven't been planting potatoes because I haven't got a need for them. They do the exact same thing as... so here are my potatoes, if you want to see them. Actually, where are my potatoes? These must be my potatoes. Those are carrots. Oh, here are my potatoes. So yeah, my potatoes are not particularly harvested, I guess you could say. Would be very reasonable to say. Because I just don't know what to do with them, really. As weird as that is to say. I guess I'll plant some inside of my carrot patch, too. There's probably some carrots that could be removed and replaced with some. That might have some benefits, I guess. But yeah, we'll keep the carrots, and they'll be great for compost food if we need to. You can feed pigs potatoes, doubles the food. But the problem is they take up a slot in my food, right? Like, for every potato I could harvest, it's one spot I can't use for carrots. So it made sense to specialize into one of them early on, so that we could get a nice, easy round number for both of them. I'm going to kill... oh my god, look. It's actually going to be tricky to kill him, but we'll do it anyway. So yeah, this area, we're going to start... we're going to turn it into path blocks, just to make it less risky for me. You know, the odds of me getting killed by a creeper are already quite low. But I think lowering those... I'm going to need a lot of shovels, aren't I? I always need more shovels than I think. I think lowering the odds of death is one of those smart moves if you can do it for no cost. Speaking of that, now let's just shovel across here. We just shovel this whole area here, starting with. You know, that way if we get bored halfway through the project, it looks like we did a full thing. This is one of my biggest life tips, by the way. Seriously, don't overbreed the pigs. Yeah, I'm not going to overbreed the pigs until I'm fairly sure... like, once rain is there, I'll overbreed the pigs, you know? But yeah, that's the vague plan. Okay, so then we just slowly expand it this way. Except I'd argue it's more beneficial to expand this way, near where my home is and near where the mobs are going to be. And so we're not going to have anywhere near as crazy of a shoveled out area as we've done in the past. But we are still going to shovel out, you know, a decent bit of area. Just for the sake of this. So I think I should stop sleeping. I know I'm going to sound like I'm, you know, this is the sort of thing people start saying before they start making manifestos or whatever else. But I think I should stop sleeping. And that way I can increase my chance of getting rain. It seems weird, but I think that's how we're going to do it. Do zombies drop a roast potato if they pick up a raw one? No, but if you, on the Java version, if you kill a zombie while he's on fire and he would drop a potato, it could be roast. So in theory, you know, like kill 500 zombies while they're on fire and you get 4 potatoes, enough to trade for some emeralds. But on Bedrock, that doesn't seem to work. My experience does not match how that is. It's kind of wild, actually, how many, like, Minecraft things are like, oh yeah, this is a Java thing that they you know, like, it's such a minor behavior that I guess they haven't considered adding it to Bedrock yet. So we're going to shovel around here now. And just make sure there's no mob spawning spots directly outside my base. And then this makes the idea of staying up at night slightly more palatable, right? So it's a good thing, broadly speaking. Yeah, staying up at night works a bit better when we do this. And so we should do this. We can't shovel the blocks where our redstone torches are on. So what we have to do is we have to move them to the side of a block that they're not on. So we'll break that, put it there, break that, put it there. In fact, I've got a lot of redstone torches now. I don't think it does much good, but it does look kind of cool, right? So I'm gonna do it. I can't shovel the block while the redstone torch is there, but I can do it afterwards, which is kind of strange, right? Why can't I shovel these blocks while there's a torch on it? I think Minecraft has some very strange behaviors that I'm never going to fully understand, and that is one of them. So let's see if our mob grinder works. I drink coffee at night all the time, but caffeine affects me weird and makes me sleepy. Too much caffeine will make you sleepy, so I guess, like, depending on how much caffeine is too much for you. Maybe the right amount of caffeine is too much caffeine for your use case. In which case, maybe you never pick up a caffeine tolerance. I almost died from caffeine once, and I can really attest to, like, it's the most fake sounding thing. Oh. It is the most fake sounding thing to say that caffeine makes you tired, but it really messes with your time perception. Really starts to, like, after a certain point, you're like, yeah, I have no idea how much time has passed. You get really, really unbelievably... Oh my god, I just patched it up, creeper! Ah. Okay, so we've got a big area under the creeper hole here, which might be useful. I think I am making a little tunnel. But it is a reminder of the dangers. Just make sure it's fully patched so I don't end up in there while running away and die. I'm going to go kill the witch because I like some redstone, and we're going to be dead. If they're on the side, you still can't path it. If they're on the side, you still can't path it. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, though. But you can... If the path is there, it will stay there, but you can't path it if they're there. Got it? BRB, gotta drink too much caffeine. Yeah, you know, actually, I think it's kind of interesting because a lot of substances are like, you know, there's like a colloquial understanding. And it's like really good that people as a society know, like, oh yeah, caffeine makes you stay awake. Because then people know, like, instinctively, oh, if I want to sleep, I shouldn't be drinking caffeine. And that's like a useful thing to know, in my opinion. I feel like there's a lot of people who'd be like, oh, Red Bull's a cool gaming drink. You know, if no one knew about caffeine, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the gamer drink, right? All the gamers drink Red Bull. And so I'll drink Red Bull for my gaming sessions. And then you'd be like, man, I have some crazy insomnia. Everyone else describes shutting your eyes and getting tired. But I describe just being wired all night and tired all morning. Yeah, this isn't going well for me. I think I'm going to sleep. If I'm on this low health. Oh no, too late. Too late. So, yeah, I'm going to go pick up my carrots, because I really don't like eating raw flesh, chat. It is a food source, but it is not a good food source. So let's pick up those carrots that I must have left somewhere. We'll drop our rotten flesh here. Drop those on top of it. And then pick up these carrots. And now I can finally eat a real food that will actually heal me. Oh, by the way, chat, I got a new mouse today. I know I said I'd give you an update on something exciting in life. And let me tell you, the thing I was hinting at was my brand new mouse. Look at it. I can't see you, my face cam. Look at my brand new mouse, chat. Wait, oh, I've got my... Look, isn't that fun? It's a Razer Minecraft mouse. I'm kind of... Honestly, it's kind of interesting to me that, like, Minecraft is able to sell so many, like, PC... like, honestly, directly, like, NVIDIA worked with Mojang because they knew a lot of people would buy a better graphics card if they thought it would help their Minecraft. Which is kind of counterintuitive, because Minecraft is the game where no one cares about the graphics. But clearly, like, they made a killing on that, right? They made it... That was, like, one of the most successful marketing decisions for both companies, right? NVIDIA made a bunch of money, Minecraft makes a bunch of money. It is very, very crispy being alive right now. So I'm going to try and stop that. Well, actually, I'm not going to stop being alive. I'm going to stop the crispiness from it. And it's a shame, chat. All of the other new Superflats, gold armor is a godsend. It's an alternative way to make golden apples. This Superflat, golden armor is just, you know, I keep it around in a chest in case one day they give us a way to smelt them, I guess. Minecrafty mouse, cool. Yeah, also, I'm a lesbian and a gamer. My caffeine addiction was inevitable. Yeah, that's, you know, when you put it like that, it's, you basically had no choice in the matter. It sounds like it was just, there was no way to avoid it, even if you'd have tried. Definitely agree with the basics of that. So now, this is my last shovel. I'll let it die. And then I'll probably combine a couple of axes. No, I'll use up one of these axes. Because I don't like having too many spares on the go. Chop it down so that we get the saplings falling to the ground. And then, oh my god, look at this. The daytime darkness is never ending. So, yeah, if you want to know, everyone knows my big goals are to get golden apples. Chat, if you don't know yet, let me tell you right now. Golden apples are the thing that I need so that I can get villagers. However, my kind of like sub-goals, my goals to keep me going while I'm there. One of those sub-goals is to get myself a bee nests. Bee nests will allow me to get honey, which is a great food source. They'll allow me to get honeycomb. They'll allow me to like start the bee farming side of things, which I think would be so goofy. It's like, you know, if we don't get rain for another, you know, 30 days, I think having some of that would be so handy. Also, is that another wandering trader? No, that's just a llama. I saw the horse and I thought he was a llama, a trader, and that's on me. I'll concede. That's entirely on me. So yeah, let's chop down a few more of these trees just to get their saplings falling, because we want to make space for more trees to grow, because some of those trees might have bee nests. It's going to take us a long time because it's a really low % chance per tree, but eventually it should be good. Also, the lesbians do be drinking all the coffee. You know, if we really dissect it, I feel like coffee is one of the few beverages in society. You know, beverage is a non-water drink, right? It's one of the few socially acceptable, you know, like beverages to have basically any time of day. Have you ever been to a place where, like, after the food is served, they're like, and would you like an after-dinner coffee? And I feel in my head, like, am I insane for thinking that this would be the worst time for a coffee? I don't think there are many good times for a coffee, I'll concede. But, like, there has to be... The one worst time would be while I'm in a... I guess, like, you're going into a food coma. It's, like, counteract that. Also, what about the big exciting thing going on in your life, says Dasher. Thank you very much, you know. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to bring it up. Chat, I viewed a car at the weekend. On Sunday, actually. I went to go and view a car. And if you'll believe it, I actually brought a mechanic friend with me. This was an idea that Kat had. That I thought was really smart. Like, yeah, like, why don't you bring a friend who, like, knows cars? And I realized, like, I've got a friend who, literally, since we were in school together, he was, like, planning to be a mechanic. He's been to be fair, like, for lorries, so, like, different type of vehicle. But he's been a mechanic for all these years. And I was like, oh, yeah, would you be able to look at it with me? And he was like, yeah. Totally. Like, I thought he would take some convincing, or he'd be like, I don't know if I like to do that. But he just gave me like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Some faults you won't be able to spot, no matter how much time you spend with a car. Some things will just break the moment you use them, right? There's no way to prevent that on a used car, but it's also not possible on a new car. But he was basically just saying, like, please don't blame me. And so I said to him, if anything breaks on this car in the next, you know, in any time, don't worry, I will solidly blame you for it all. You know, if I make a mistake driving, I'm going to blame... I made it all better that way. He was... he assumes I'm joking, which is why we're entirely fine. But more seriously, my mechanic friend said it was good. I have another friend who's just like into cars. He's like, yeah, no, it looks all good to me. And so the car I went to look at, it was the same as all the other ones I'd been looking at, chat. It's a super tiny car. It's smaller than a Fiat 500. I found out 2 minutes before the stream. It's like a really, my brother called it a European K car. It's like it's a super compact thing. Yeah, what's fun about it though is that I went to go view it knowing what I was expecting. It was like, yeah, this version has a slightly better engine, but then in exchange it costs more to insure and it's slightly more fuel inefficient. But it was like better than I was expecting. It has all sorts of dumb quirks that like literally no one but me would enjoy. So it's got like metal pedals, which just, you know, if you want to feel like you're a race car driver, it makes no difference on the feel of a car. But like, you know, it's a nice thing, right? All the real race cars I've driven have had metal pedals, and so why not the fake race car that I'm buying? And so yeah, I feel like I have to pick up all these wheat seeds, but I maybe shouldn't feel obliged to just harvest this. I should wait for it to be fuller. Because I just don't need wheat that bad outside of making... yeah, I don't need wheat that bad outside of just making myself bread, which I only need to do once my carrots run out anyway. So maybe we should just chill with it. We should just let our crops grow as a background task because we've earned the right to call it that. I also kind of wanted a bright pink beetle. There's something... Also, a Robin Reliance says Stig. It's fun that your name is Stig and that you suggested that. Very, very fun combo right there. Yeah, it's a smart car, actually. Also, what does K-car mean something different now than the small Chryslers from the thousands? So K-car, I could be wrong. I think it's a Japanese classification of car. I don't know what it's like spelled K-E-I. And so I'm guessing it's because it fits into a small categorization. But yeah, a lot of people, it's a really huge movement in the US right now. People have been importing Japanese trucks, K-trucks. Because, like, this is just I think the inevitable thing about life. As, you know, like, if you are, you know, like, 35 plus, you know, statistically, a decent number of Americans go to the dealership and think, you know, I need a nice car to drive around in. Then they get there, and the dealership's like, would you like a pickup truck that's mightily fuel inefficient, but if you need to help your friend move, you theoretically could do it. And people go, yeah. Some of them go because they want to be useful. Some of them want a car that can, you know, kill other people. You know, I'm not gonna make my killing other people's families jokes right now. But instead, what I'll say is that, like, you know, because that's become like the standard movement. Like the pickup trucks are the biggest growing segment in American cars. There's a lot of like American young people who are like, yeah, I'm not doing what my parents want because, you know, that's culture, right? And so they're specifically getting Japanese trucks that are like more compact than like a, you know, a hatchback or sedan or whatever. And they're very cute, but they're being banned in a lot of states because they obviously are Japanese trucks and therefore don't meet US crash standards. But I think it's fun anyway. I think having a quirky size vehicle is fun because just, you know, like when you're not into cars and you look at them and you're like, oh yeah, it's another gray box that you can get into that can yeah, if I'm in the position of getting a car for leisure, it might as well be a silly car, right? I love raw oysters with lemon. They feel like snot and I don't care. I live for them. You know, Ad and Sony, I don't know how you could possibly be finding oysters out in the woods, you know, that far from your nearest Walmart. But I am happy that you have found oysters. I think I like oysters too. I think there's something so wrong about them. But it's like I think oysters are proof that taste does not matter in food. I think that taste is a very secondary metric to, you know, vibes. Maybe it's proof in a broader societal context that we don't really care about how things... we don't care about, you know, the actual quality of some things. We just want to be strange, which is exactly the point I'm making about the car that I'm looking into. So anyway, yeah, I got there. It had like cool pedals. It had like a different... it had a reverse cam, which is cool. I wasn't expecting to get one of those. And so my friend says it was fine, and you know, it felt fine to drive. Like it didn't... It was a little bit peppy because it had a faster engine, but like in a good way, right? Like I'm never gonna say no to extra speed. And yeah, I was like, okay, awesome then. So how do we buy a car? And the guy was actually good about it. He nailed the salesmanship job after the sale was locked down too. And so now on like Wednesday, I think so what I don't know if this is the standard. I don't know enough about cars or buying them, but they're gonna give it a fresh like MOT, like another legal inspection, which means that even if the car was like falling apart, I could drive it for another year, legally speaking, at least. So they've just done that, and now they're gonna like give it a valet. Chat, can someone explain to me is anyone here like a wordsmith? Why is valeting and valeting spelt the same? I don't quite get it. Also, have you got iron? Yes, look at my iron supply. I've got 3 of it right now. If it came to it, chat, if I saw a wandering trader and he wanted milk buckets, if he needed milk buckets, then I would, you know, I think it's only reasonable to say that I would craft a bucket just to sell to him. I think getting 5 emeralds is that important that I would just do it in a heartbeat. There would be no point in thinking about it even. I'll go that far. I think thinking about it would be a poor decision. So let's make 4 more shovels. 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe we should put some like blocks in here. Just like, you know, like I feel like I've got a few too many of these. And then, yeah, then we have to probably remove these soon to like start patching in the last of the blocks. But otherwise it's going quite nicely. And then we'll start leaving spaces in this so that my orchard... Oh god, they just broke something on me, chat. Skeletons are the worst. So let's make sure we kill the skeleton. He's got an enchanted boat. That's something interesting. So I need a helmet and I need boots. I have a helmet, but I don't have boots. Ooh, I'm going to have to make some leather boots then. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll put in these leather pants, I guess. Not that I think I'll ever use them, but... Yeah, I think leather boots are definitely going to be used more and more. I can dye them once I get a cauldron, but my cauldron dreams might be dashed if I do want to pursue the bucket. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. For now, let's put the axe away. Let's pick up this bow. What do we got? Oh, I'm breaking. Just not worth keeping. Like, unless we disenchant later, which to be fair, we actually might. You know what? Let's keep it then. Let's keep it for disenchanting value. Not that I even think I need disenchanting value. But let's keep it. And then we have to kill you. Okay. Nice. Get a few more bones, a few more arrows. And then I think it's just too dark in this area for me to do anything more. I should spend my nights up doing things. I just don't think it's very practical all of the time. So now let's make another crafting table. Because, you know, getting a little Larry here otherwise. We're going to kill the spider. Put the crafting table in the side there. And then we're going to make ourselves some fences. We still haven't got enough fences to finish this, so if we could do that right now, it would be great, right? So just finish the fencing off. Yep, looking all good to me. But yeah, so I put down a deposit on the car, chat, or like a non-refundable deposit, and then I have to agree to pay their storage costs if I disagree about buying it in a few days' time. But they've agreed that it will pass all the checks, that it will do this, that it will do that, and it was already good. I would have just driven away with it right then, but they were like, yeah, we'll do it a fresh MOT. Yeah, we'll give it a valeting. They'll polish the car even. It's okay to be beautiful once and a while, but understand you'll pay for it by being terrified. Oh, how are you going to be... How... Okay, you know, that is the most scary message I've ever read, Mr. Yikes Skeleton. Really living up to your name there. How will people pay for being beautiful? Are you making like a point about cars? That like, if you get a cute car, You're going to be terrified on the road, whereas a nice practical pickup truck won't be. Because I'll concede that is probably my, like... If I was driving a car day to day to get to work, I think I would 100% be on your, like... I think, or like, at least if you... Once you get a family or whatever, too. I really see the logic of, like, yeah, just get the biggest... Oh, no! Okay. That's fine. Just get the biggest thing that you can get in. Because then if you get in an accident, whether it's your fault or not, you don't want your family to die, right? And especially if you get in an accident when it's someone else's fault. I think there's at least some debate about whether you should want your family to die if you get in an accident. But if someone else, like, smashes into you, you know, like, I kind of get that. I think it's the most messed up, like, sentiment. I think it's a very faulty market that you can buy crash protection for incidents you cause. You know, in an ideal world, we would have no motor fatalities. Or in an ideal world where the traffic gods demand 35,000 people a year, like they do right now. In that ideal world, we would say, okay, every single time there's a crash, just like how there's an insurance investigation right now, or like, you know, like just like how that happens, after there's a crash, every time there'd be like a, you know, like a report into it, and whoever was deemed at fault, you know, they can be the ones to take the injury or whatever else. Also, no lava for a cobblestone generator. I know, it's so sad. It's so sad. Also, I'm just going to stay up the entire way through tonight. I believe in myself. I believe that I can do it. And so I'm just going to do it. We're going to make ourselves some more fences. I think I need a lot more fences. 15 should just about do it. And then it means I can, like, stress less about this area. I'm also going to have to leave some spaces for some fence gates. But for now... Oh, actually, that hole there looks great. But for now, this is decent enough. I could actually use some of these chunks that I've got these things on. I could put fences on. And then that might have some value. You know, just for fun. Let's go put them in there anyway. I think it might be useful. Being beautiful online is kind of terrifying. Beauty is pain, says Darcy. Beauty makes you a target. Okay, I tell you what, chat. How many of you, you know, right now... Would you do you think that beauty has more upsides than downsides? Or more ups? Which way around is it? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that being beautiful is just makes you a target? Also, Mr. Yikes Skeleton always comes in to say that some of those out-pocket things and never elaborate, and it's so funny. He is called Mr. Yikes Skeleton, so you can't say that it's out of character at least. Also, it's good to see you, Lamb Vandermeer. It is, how are you doing? Love to see an OG. Man, it has been some time, huh? In the sense that, like, you know, also, ooh, the way that fills in is strange. Also, I went all that way for water, but there's literally some right here. That is useful to know about. I'm going to put some water, like, there. It's going to flow out a little bit more, but it'll prevent any mobs from spawning. And then I think I'm just going to work on this chunk destruction here, chat. I think I'm just going to do it. And then if anyone wants to fight me, they can just fight me. No. Okay, don't fight me. I don't like when they fight me. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to continue destroying this chunk a bit more. I do have plans that require a destroyed chunk at some point. So let's just use now as the time. It's easy peasy anyway. And, you know, now I've got a shovel, it feels a bit better. More upsides. Definitely more upsides. Yeah, I feel like... Genuinely, chat, I think this will be the most, you know, I think that the most incel thing I can say, that I genuinely believe in my heart, is that your attractiveness is the most important type of privilege, or whatever you want to call it, you can get. Like, you know, if you... You know, we might talk about, like, you know, being stereotyped for something. But if you are beautiful, you'll never be stereotyped for anything bad. You know, I think that is, a big bonus to your life. And if you are ugly, you know, if you've got, like... There's all sorts of reasons why, like, they've been theorized as to why it is that humans have this, like, anti-ugly bias. But we'll be like, oh yeah, if you've got, like, a scarred face... We assume that you are somehow something is morally wrong with you. In a way that makes no sense, but is also wired into, even if not every human, so many humans that your life gets harder. you know, there is a reason why. It's just a small little category of celebrities. You know, the Jonah Hills of the world or whoever. It's a small category of celebrities who get away with being, like, average guy looking. Not unattractive, by the way. Average guy looking. And most of them have to be like, oh yeah, this is the, you know, the most attractive person from your school. And I think that's like a teller of like how clearly because you know, like with all of the information that TV studios have, or movie studios have, they come back to the same conclusion, which is that like, oh yeah, the way that we are going to get the most people to watch this thing, the way that most people will like this character or relate to them, is if they are likable. Hot serial killers is a phenomenon that exists. Yeah, the I do think that is also depends who you're around and whether they're just being superficial. Oh wait, I totally mean with just strangers, Cat. I think that all the people in your life are you know, hopefully nice to you, and I hope that in a way that they would be, you know, like I think that the only thing that changes is how people treat you on first glance. And then maybe you could argue, like, you know, at least my experience talking to, you know, guy friends is like the amount of like insanity you put up with from someone else is also dependent on that, right? Like the amount of like, oh yeah, they you know, they did something that makes no sense and that burns a little bit in my soul, but on the other hand. Also, I don't really know. I was a waitress, and compared to all the other really very obviously drug-addicted waitresses, I made less money than them, but also got attacked a lot more. Oh, you got... So are you saying that the drug addiction made them less pretty, and therefore, you know, you make... I feel like, if you think about it, seeing someone being drug addicted is like a really good sign that money will improve their life. You know, like, I hate to say it, chat, but if it weren't for my lobster roll addiction... I'm not sure that discretionary, you know, like, because the biggest life improvements you can get from, I think actually the biggest thing that money actually gets you is, like, financial security. Not, the biggest thing that money can do for you is, like, not needing to stress about it. That's, like, by far the biggest thing that money ever buys you. But then, you know, after that, so I'm loving the redstone torches. Makes for a very spooky little pathway. Also, officer, I was distracted by how handsome you were. That's why I didn't know how fast I was going. I complimented the my guy at the guy who went on with me on a test drive this weekend, and he was like, "Oh, you know, you're such a charmer, you." And he felt like he was a lot happier after that. Because the most interesting thing about compliments is even if people know that they are fake, they are still powerful. I guess that's like a whole different point, though. My hot take is I think if the world thinks of you, it looks at you and thinks you're attractive by default, I think that all compliments will mean less for you. I think that's like a big struggle. But yeah, I think it's called the halo effect, and it's something like, if you think about how a lot of society works, I think that. Because, you know, like, the one I always heard about was, like, if you are on a jury, if you're on a, if you're being convicted by a jury, juries are less likely to convict people they think are attractive. And to be fair, you could fault that the other way around and say, yeah, well, if juries think someone is guilty, you know, like, being guilty is a pretty unattractive trait. Being in the same way that you might argue, being, you know, like, being a serial killer is an unattractive trait. But... you know, for some people, you could argue the benefits will outweigh that. You know, the other things that come with it. I don't think people should be arguing that, but I think that somehow we got to a world where they do. Okay, so we're going to make a very structured section here now, specifically for preventing mobs like this from spawning, because I don't like having to deal with so many of them every single morning, just to get my stuff done. So, no, okay, that actually worked out well for me. Finish this guy. Finish this guy for his boots. Actually, I'll kill you first. That's the ideal way around, I think. And you, give me your boots. Nope. No boots for me. So yeah, I need to work out some, like, proper way to build this that doesn't result in daytime darkness. I could just use a hoe and go through the leaves here. But even that doesn't feel like a good long-term solution. It feels like a very short-term solution. It's rough. It's rough. My parents always seem so happy and peaceful despite always being in some financial crisis, says Dominic. You know, I don't know about your parents particularly, so I can't comment if this is true for them. I think for a lot of people, again, I can only comment for the way I was raised. I think that I think some people are really good at not making it other people's issue, right? Like, I think this is my view for, like, you know, if I'm like really hurt, I am desperate not to make it someone else's issue, you know? I am like, you know, I'm like barely able to walk somewhere and someone's like, oh yeah, do you need some help? And I'm like, I'm good, I'm great, thank you for asking. Because I really don't want to inconvenience someone with my pain, you know? And I think that's like something a lot of people who have like money issues can do. Because, you know, I think even if you want to ask for help, no one likes the person who's like, oh yeah, I've got money issues again. Because, you know, people feel used by it. If you continuously bring up money problems with people, they're like, okay, you know. And in a way, you know, if someone has any other problem, if someone has a hurt knee, you don't mind them telling you about it. But I think money in particular is one because there is an easy solution to a money problem if the person you're talking to has money. But it causes a lot of issues. I think I could put the other block under my bed into being a redstone block. I think this is my idea, chat. And then look, now, hey! My bed is a work of art. Also, old Toy Cat quote, anything being designed to be beautiful should be designed like a Taco Bell. If IBX Toy Cat plays in the Waterworld preset, I will play in one too. The Waterworld preset seems like it'd be such a grind. I have to say. But maybe that's what makes it so fun, huh? I kind of like the idea of doing it as a, you know, just, you know, being a little bit goofy with it, do it as a video series. But again, I think I've just concluded that survival videos are not, at least for me, they haven't worked in a long time, you know? Okay, so, kill the skeleton. Whereas I feel like streaming is the better format. But then the problem is like the stream is great when it's live. The stream is great for like a week after it's live, but it's only really for existing subscribers. If you want to know my like actual ins and outs of this, so I can't. Even though I would like to do streams forever for every challenge I want to do, like I would love to jump on the Water World. I think I do need to work out a better way. Also, that's not very helpful. I think friends feel hurt when you always decline their help. Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. So you got to specifically... I think that's the messy thing about, like, if you feel like your parents are having money problems, maybe specifically, you know, but they're not stressed about it. Maybe they are very stressed, but they're good at making you not feel stressed. Which I would argue is, like, a good parent behavior, right? I think... I mentioned this. I've heard this from a lot of people who have similar, like, you know, like ways of growing up. But I'm sure, chat, you at some point have gone through this. Maybe in the inverse too, to be fair. Maybe at some point you discover your parents are rich and you're like, wait, why are we not going out to KFC every weekend? They said we didn't have the money for it. But something interesting that I've heard from a lot of people is like the moment once you're in the teenage years and you find out your parents don't have as much money as you thought, you're like, okay, I can't. If they're, you know, I don't know, like when I learned my mother was in debt, I'm like, yeah, I can't. Why? I'm not gonna make that problem worse, you know. In the same way that I'm sure she wouldn't have made problems worse by telling people all the time or by acting like it was stress. She was stressed. So like I went through a lot of work to like, you know, like hide any school trips that happened, be like, okay, you know, if I tell her about this, she's gonna feel obliged to, you know, drop 30 pounds on this because it's a, you know, so it's like, okay, so you just gotta specifically make sure she doesn't find out, and then we'll be good, and like loads of stuff like that. I think a lot of people have gone through something similar, being like, oh yeah, like if you know, once you know that your parents are going through something, it affects you because you feel like you should help them, but then that's not what your parents want either. I think, like, you know, in retrospect, I think my parents would be happier being like, you know, knowing that. Also, I'm dying to see Toycat play a Waterworld Superflat. You know, if you die for it... No, don't die for it, please. I've been so close to people with money issues. It comes down to them spending ridiculous amounts on ridiculous things, like DoorDash and conventions. They owe me, like, $600. Yeah, so I think people don't want to be that, right? I think even if they are that, they don't want to be that. And then that adds an extra strain to your relationship. So, you know, it's messy very quickly, I guess. I think a lot of like a lot of things. But I think finances are such an interesting thing because unlike everything in life which can be fudged to emotions, you know, like why am I not having success in my dating life? If I, you know, like hypothetically, right? It could be like, oh yeah, well, I can just tell myself I'm unlucky. It's not the fact that I eat garlic before every time I meet a girl. It's not the fact that on the first day I feel the need to mention my strong opinions on you know, I don't know, insert unpopular thing politically here. You know, I go on a nice big immigration rant on the first day just to make sure, you know, she's not secretly an immigrant herself. You know, imagine, you know, I'm the only immigrant allowed in my couples. Also, yeah, I think there's a really... I think most things in life you're allowed to kind of be a little emotional about and kind of fudge those things. But with money, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I said I would pay this amount at this time, and then I didn't pay this amount at this time. You know, there's no like, oh, but like, you know, it's because of the world getting me down, man. Like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, no, you got paid from your work, the same amount you always get paid, and then off that money didn't arrive where you wanted to. But then the worst bit is like, you know, like it can cut both ways. Like I'm sure your friends that owes you $600, you know, it's easy to imagine them as being like, and the way I imagine them, because I feel like this is the worst thing you can do in the world, is they're like, haha, I have their money, and now all I have to do is never talk to them again, and I'm up $600. I didn't even particularly like that person. Ha 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 ha. You know, it's easy to think of things that way. But actually, I feel like, you know, they're like feeling some real shame in their, you know, in their soul, in their body. They're like, oh yeah, I do need to pay this up. I do owe this person. But even, you know, even if, you know, someone said like, oh, it's buying dumb stuff like DoorDash and conventions. But it's like, yeah, in the moment, those things feel necessary. And even though finances is, again, it's like the most hard of science, there's no fudging it. It's like, in people's head, it's like, yeah, what difference does getting a $10, you know, like, takeaway when I really want it, what difference does that really make, you know, on this $400 debt? Literally none. $10 is less than $400. I'm either making it or I'm not making it either way. And it's easy to believe that and not realize that you make that decision 40 times and then you have made the difference. Because if you approach money like it's a you know, how do we end up on money so often, chat? Also, not eating garlic before a first date. How will you fend off vampires? When I was a kid, I knew we were broke, but I didn't know that during Christmas, my mum got money from her dad. As a result, I'd always ask for cheap things. I always asked cheap things and would get mad my siblings got expensive things. Oh, that would add like a whole layer of complexity to it. If like, you know, you're trying to like cheap out and then... I think this actually, weirdly enough, I think this is like, this happened somewhere in my family, indirectly. Is like huge schism over the idea of like, you know, someone's parents being poor. I know, I think it's like, you know, as an interesting example, right? If your friend says like, oh yeah, I can't lend you money, man. And then right after saying that, they lend someone else money. I think that would be like emotionally harmful, right? I think that's like one of the interesting... Oh god, chat! Oh god, 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 oh god. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how that got so bad so quickly. Baby zombies are the worst. Baby zombies are actually the worst. I do not know how they do it so well, but they always do. Okay, so eat carrots. Be very vigilant. I can't believe Adam Stoney tried to jinx it. I'm not gonna let her. I know some people make fun of Dutch people for sending payment requests for tiny amounts, but I feel like stuff like this wouldn't happen. Oh, okay, you know what, so, Leanne, I wanna, while you're here, actually, I have heard so much about that. I wanna know, so I am actually on the Dutch side on this one. I wanna know if you are on the, you know, like, tell me, I want chat collectively to weigh in on this. So, I've heard, I heard this story of, like, you know, someone's got a friend of a friend is a Dutch friend. They go out, or they order in a takeaway before going out for drinks. And, you know, the Dutch friend pays, and so asks everyone, like, can you chip in your £10? And everyone else was like, oh, that's stingy, isn't it? And, I've always thought that that is, like, wild. Be like, oh, yeah, you know, given that you have, you know, consumed 1/5 of this service that cost me £50, please could you But, chat, what do you think about that? If you order, you know, let's say you order pizza for a party, should you be doing it, you know, like, communally? Is it okay to... What I do think isn't okay is, like, just ordering something and then later being like, oh, yeah, everyone, you're paying. Like, that's not okay, right? But if you're like, oh, yeah, let's try and get some money together for a pizza, like, that shouldn't be seen as, like, stingy behavior. I had to give my younger brother the stop being a greedy ass, money isn't unlimited talk when I was 11. And he was 12. Yeah, but then I think actually you might have... You know, I wonder if that is a good talk to have. You know, like, looking back on it, would your parents have been happier not... With your brother not believing that money is... You know, isn't believing money is unlimited one of the most beautiful sins you can have? But yeah, one of the ones that, like, used to drive me crazy, and I just got over it because I live in the UK and it's a part of our culture, is the round system. Instead of... I get where this originates. Like, when you go... So instead of everyone going up to the bar individually and buying a drink, one person goes up to the bar and buys everyone's drink, and then you rotate it. And in theory, that means that everyone, you know, in theory, right? That means that you're all just paying for each other's drinks, and it all balances out. But actually, it immediately doesn't, because I'll be honest, I'm a beneficiary of this. I think I get more expensive drinks than most people, because if you're a beer drinker, beer is the cheapest thing a pub sells. But, like, you know, I don't want a beer. I would rather drink anything else. But, you know, like, it means I'm either getting something that's quite a bit cheaper than a beer, quite a bit more expensive than a beer. You know, a cocktail can be, like, you know, 8, 9, 10 pounds, whereas a beer is, like, 5. Or, you know, even if it's just, like, a rum and coke, that's still going to be more than a beer. And so it's like, okay, so immediately, even though I'm benefiting from this system that we've devised, or some on the Dutch side when it comes to repaying people, yeah, I think that, like, if we all get a taxi together to a place we all need to go to, I think it's insanity not to share that split that taxi. If we are all going to be buying drinks, I think it's fair to be like, if we're buying the same drink, like, I'll buy 2 this round, you buy 2 the next round, that's perfect. But I think it gets really messy when you're like, oh, just buy a round and then I'll get you a round, and then... Like, I get nervous when people are like, oh yeah, what are you getting? I'll get this round. It's like, is this a... You know, like, is this presumed you will get this back later, or is this a gift? I need to know the context. Because, you know, I don't... depending on which it is, you know, you can't ask for the most expensive drink in the bar. If it's presumed... if it's presumed you're going to be paying it back, you can, though. Pay for the fraction you ate. Whenever I'm getting food, I'm covering me. Yeah, I think nowadays, I think with the way that, like, Deliveroo order limits work, there is actually some argument for doing that. You know, there is some real thing there. Also, Toycat, do you drink? If you do not drink, you do die. You know, we're not Minecraft, so the first bar very much exists in the real world. And if you neglect the first bar, it does go poorly for you. I'm worried about a creeper getting me, so I'm going to get high enough up that even if the creeper comes and attacks, I'm not going to die to it. That is important to me. And so let's see. Just for drinks as well, just get me the receipt and send me a ticky later. Yeah, so that's seen as being very, like, tight-fisted. Or tight-fisted? Is it tight-fisted? Yeah. Why is it tight-fisted? I guess, oh, you're keeping your money in your hand. Like, tight-fisted. I've just worked out the meaning of that phrase. Yeah, I've got my money in my hand right now, and I'm being tight-fisted about it. I'm not letting this go for anyone. Buying rounds is fun, though. Oh, no, it feels like, again, maybe this is like my... it feels financially destructive to be dropping £30. Like, even if you're dropping £30 once and then everyone else is dropping, that feels so much more financially destructive than I will spend £5. And then if I like, I will spend £5 more. And then again, I will spend, you know, like £30 buying some people, you know, like, I don't know, it's messy. Beer sucks, but wine also looks gay, so I drink liquor. RKO fan. You know what? You're saying what we're all thinking. I'll admire you on that one. I think, although I would say, you know, the most manly thing you can do it if we're gonna use toxic gender roles as a way to view how we should order drinks, then the most manly thing that you can do is to get what you want and ignore everyone else's thought about it. If you're thinking about what everyone else thinks, you know, again, within the toxic gender view of the world that I am not going to endorse during this stream for at least not right now. You know, see, maybe after a few drinks we can start. But if we're gonna be believing in that, then like, oh, that's a pretty fruity thing. Like, oh, you're gonna let society decide what you drink? Society decides that, you know, like drinking out of a flamingo glass is manly, and so you're gonna do it now? No, you make your own decision what's manly. I'll drink a margarita. It's a great drink. Love it. Tequila, lime. What's not to love? You know, a drink that's cool. There's if a drink is literally called the worst thing imaginable, it's like, well, if you want the thing, you can go through with it. You like microtransactions at the bar is what you're saying. In fact, you know, I am saying that, and I think that most people are the same. And weirdly, the Dutch system allows that. The Dutch system would say, I'll go to the bar, I'll drop £30 getting all our drinks, and then I'll request £8 from Jake, £7 from Tim, £4 from Steve, and, you know, there we go, right? Then assuming we all trust each other, in a way, that's like a better trust-based system. The current system is like, oh yeah, you get gifts for people, and then sometimes they get you gifts back. And it's like, you know, what if I don't want to get a gift for? I trust, you know, Steve and Tim, but what about Jake? I'm not getting Jake a gift. What has he done to earn a gift from me? It's also whiskey sours are pretty good. Yeah, I think the most basic, like, if you want like halfway between you know, a drink and a cocktail, it's like the old-fashioned. It just tastes so strongly of whiskey. Every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, I like fine twisted drinks, and I try one and I'm like, this was a mistake. This was a big mistake. I go to a university that uses English as the main language, so there's a bunch of people from outside the Netherlands here, and they're just very fast while splitting ways. Oh, that is fun that you enforce that bit of your culture on them. And to be, yeah, I guess it is like whatever is the dominant way of doing things is just gonna work better that way, I guess. So let's harvest and plant some more carrots, just so we can add a few more both to our inventory stack, and then I guess also to our you know, our pig feeding pile. I'm still waiting for rain, chat. I have no idea when it's gonna come, but I've got high hopes. Also, cherry gives the most saplings. Yeah, it's the most useless thing. What can I do with all of these saplings? Like, I could make some bone meal, I guess. That's nice. But then what else can I do? I need someone in chat to describe that to me, because I do not know. I guess what we can do now is we could start building platforms above this, so that our mobs will be more likely to fall in. I guess we should go up there and we'll make a bunch more trapdoors anyway, and then we'll build the rest of this out. Also, Tim here, my presence is the gift. I'll take my scotch and neat, please. Power play, to say that. I'll concede, just to be like, yep, I don't intend on getting you this drink back, but I will take a drink if you're getting one. Lemon, you have to check and send a reminder text about the payment request. Yeah, that was, like, you know, I never enjoyed that about, like, even, you know, it's there are some people where you're like, oh yeah, so I'll get this and then you pay, you know, like you pay me back, and they're like very relaxed about it. And the worst bit is I don't think they're like out to get you, right? I don't think they're out to like steal your, you know, money. But I then think like, okay, these are people that I need to, you know, be the one to pay for, and then, you know, like, they can... I'll get it, and then they can get me back later. Because clearly they can't be trusted under the other system. So place these blocks here. And then put this block down there. Hopefully that doesn't make a source. It does not. We're great. And then do the same thing here. Oh, God. Yeah, I feel like... okay, we need to make this go round there now. Perfect. Place the water in here. And then I think that's accidentally made sources, but it's probably just fine anyway. We have to slowly but surely have water pour everywhere as we do this. Maybe we should just pick up the water pieces next time. Let's do that. Let's just move the water somewhere else to make this work better. And we'll slowly but surely move it here. Slowly but surely creating even more pain for ourselves. In fact, yeah, let's start doing it from back here. That should be much easier, right? Although, no, it's not. But there we go. This works great. And then we'll remove the blocks, and it's wonderful. Weave some cherry sapling baskets. Bone meal to make more saplings, obviously. Yeah, more saplings, more saplings. It's a never-ending solution. The Scott approves of neat scotch. White Russian is a fun name for a cocktail. We have it too. Oh, the White Russian is a bad cocktail, though. I've got to admit, that's what makes it so fun, I guess. But it's also, like, the most disastrous thing that is ordered regularly. Like, who actually wants them? I need someone to answer me that. Hopefully the answer is nobody. But yeah, I think that also put them in flower pots. It'll be a very arduous journey. Yeah, the flower pots are going to take me a long time to get. Because I'm going to need to get... There's a lot of things I need to get from the Wandering Trader. Once I get my 5 emeralds locked down, I think I can start seriously considering them too. Also, how is this water not flowing correctly? There we go. That's what I needed. That's what I like to see. Now I just need to get up here, which I can probably do by, like, trapdooring that. We'll break the trapdoor there, which we'll lose it forever. Kind of a big deal, I'll concede. And we'll just go back and get that after this. Okay, so now we should... You know, we should be able to get more mobs actually falling down here. Not sure how many yet, but I'm sure it's more than we expect. And yeah, I don't know if I want to stay up tonight, chat. I'm not getting great luck on the rain, and not sleeping doesn't seem to help it. As crazy as that is, you know, I know most problems are usually fixed by not sleeping, but apparently not this one. So the skeletons can attack each other. Maybe even attack the zombie too. Come on, you go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is going perfectly. Just kill a few. Oh, what did he drop? Chat, what did he... Oh, he probably dropped like string or bones or something. So these guys are going to almost finish me. I think, actually, he must have an enchanted bow for the amount of damage he's doing right now. So let's attack him back in a way where he can't attack me back. There we go. What did he drop? Nice chest plate, I guess. I'm amazed at how long this bow has been going with nothing on it. Projectile protection. That's actually perfect. For the current moment. Oh, because I think my chest plate died and I didn't realize it. And that's why I got so destroyed. It's not that I'm playing... It's just I'm playing hardcore and he has a regular bow. Although it was enchanted, so maybe it had power on. Whew. But yeah, I feel like... I feel like the gift system is like is the way that it actually works in the UK. But then there's this messy thing of like, okay, so like, you know, I guess it like in reality, if you think about it, it's like one of those like social redistribution methods. Like, okay, your friend who never pays you back, effectively, you know, because he's so bad at money, to make sure that he can afford to come out and do things, we make sure that he gets a small share of everyone else's money. Does that guy have a wooden sword? It's a stick. Okay, we're fine. You know, in exchange, and you know, like it's also like good for, like a lot of people like giving gifts, but it's weird to give gift to your friends. So just like, oh yeah, tell your friend he can pay you back when he wants, and then your friend forgets to pay you back. That's like a functioning social system. It's a weirdly functioning social system. It feels like you could do the same with less, but it works just great for the people that it works great for. Also, yeah, I'm now going to head back in there. I just want to get my trapdoor. There's just so many mobs down there, chat. I don't even understand why there's so many mobs. So, I guess we'll... Should we just go to sleep? Would morning me do a better job than current me? I think probably. Also, do I want string for anything besides fishing rods and... What have they got in there? Oh, they've got carpet in their hands because... Right, I think what happened is my water would have knocked down some of the carpet. So let's kill the zombies. I can do it in the morning, but they are right here, and they do have my carpet in their hands. So maybe I should kill them. Get that carpet thing worked out. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, so we got a potato chat. See, if he was on fire when that happened, I'd have got a baked potato, which does have some real value. Oh, actually, I mean, on Java, I would have got a baked potato, which has some real value. But yeah, I'll wait till the morning. I'm gonna lose a trapdoor permanently, and probably also a lot of regular carpet. But if I just stay away, it'll be fine. I wonder if there are fellas laying around in the pub in like 1506 who were known for never paying people back. Yeah, I think about that a lot too, because people hate to admit this, but we are the richest we've ever been by such a wide margin. Like, do you ever think about the also boots? Do you ever think about the miracle that is even the like most minor modern day invention? Like the microwave meal, right? The microwave meal allows you to have something that if you were a king in the 1600s, you might have dreamt of. The idea that you could just imagine a meal, you could say, I want this meal, and then literally 3 minutes later, that meal is ready. And then you can say to yourself, oh yeah, I want to have this meal at some point this week. You make a small purchase ahead of time. You get this little device that irradiates your food. No, we don't want to sleep. I hate that we don't want to sleep, but we do not want to sleep. You get a little device that irradiates your food. And then once you've done that irradiation, procedure, that is, broadly speaking, a weird thing that we probably shouldn't put in our homes. It's like, yeah, you want a lasagna? Go for it. Do you want minestrone soup? Yeah, go for it. These would be meals that would take days of prep. You'd have had to get your servants on. You'd have had to tell them what you wanted for dinner ahead of time. You couldn't say at 4:55, I fancy a lasagna, and then expect to get anything resembling a lasagna. Unless you had all your chefs all the time making lots of food that they could never use, it would be wild. And the even wilder, in my opinion. I think I feel like microwave food is seen as like the bad food now. People are like, oh yeah, I would hate to resort to microwave food. Ready meal. Also, what happened here? Oh, is this Enderman? It must be. Endermen have been destroying my daytime darkness, chat. I think that's crazy. Yeah, the fact that not only is that possible, but it's seen as like, ooh, yeah, that's not like the way you want to eat. You want to eat fresher. Also, that's the worst. I got 2 glass bottles, which is great. But that is the worst. That's absolutely the worst. How long is it gonna last? 34 seconds. I can't be having 34 seconds of poison. That's gonna kill me. I'm gonna get into my safety buffer, my little area over here, where nothing else will hurt me. And then I'm gonna think seriously about how I can deal with this. The answer might be that I cannot. I'm gonna eat my carrot now, even though it's just gonna be wasted on the hunger. Just because I seriously, a stray arrow, something like that, I'm just dead. But it's made us so lazy. Yeah, but it's a good thing to be able to be lazy, right? It's better to be able to be lazy, even if it happens that 40% of people take that opportunity. It's better to be able to be lazy, even if it means that sometimes we use it, than to not be able to be lazy. To be like, oh yeah, we are boned. End stream for a save point. It's not a bad idea, Drokasada. Yeah, I should sleep, but I want to make sure we get rain. And if we sleep, we're resetting our rain timer every day, which isn't the goal if we can avoid it. But it's so late through the night anyway, and phantoms will start to spawn if I'm not careful. So let's sleep. Oh, no, I cannot. There are monsters nearby. I should start putting beds like around the world in different places. I think that'd be a good idea. I should also start... I'm going to take more slime chunks. I'm going to put... I'm going to, like, do... What's it called? I'm going to use wooden shovels on some of them. Just make sure they don't spawn mobs. Yeah, I'll stay up through this night. I'll make sure the rain timer is still going strong. Yeah, that's my plan. Will Mick fix it? Also, as it were. Oh yeah, Milk would have fixed that. That's a good point if I'd have thought about it. We made a box that holds invisible waves and it makes your food in minutes. What the hell are you talking about? Exactly. You would have blown the minds of anyone. But yeah, despite that fact, like, we have so much now. So that, like, literally right now, the price of a drink matters the least to you that it's ever mattered. You know, like, the amount of spare money an individual has means that going out for a few drinks is the, you know, most reasonable that it has ever been. But yeah, one, it feels expensive still. I don't want to pretend it doesn't feel expensive to drop £5 on it, on just a beverage. It feels expensive. And then also, yeah, I would have guessed in the, you know, medieval. I feel like it would have been harder to stiff people because drinks would have been more. I'm guessing actually that drinks are probably priced to scale based on people's incomes. Like, if everyone got 10 times richer tomorrow, I think drink prices would go up. Also, hey, it's my boy, it's my boy, it's okay. We gotta do this right. We gotta kill these guys correctly. Again, hoping for iron ingots each time. Not expecting, but hoping. Okay, great. Chat, if he sells an oak sapling, I will give him everything and anything he needs for it. Milk bucket, water bucket. And all I need to get in exchange is... Okay, there's nothing for me here. It's interesting that he gives the same value for both milk and water buckets. But there's nothing I can do with him. It sucks. I want there to be some value I can get from this. Like, rooted dirt would be great if I was in a desert world, but I am not. Lime dye would be great at some point in this world, but like right now, just not smart. So what we're going to do is the classic chat. We're going to punch him 15 or so times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now I let the llamas be 16, and he should, in response to this, again, he should, okay, there we go. Now he's going to drink that, and then he's going to beside his spine, and there we go. Why am I not getting any milk buckets, chat? Do you think they fixed the spawn rate to match Java? That's so many guys to kill and get nothing from. Then we kill the llamas, because otherwise they just hang around, wasting our existence. So, yeah, I think today we're going to go up and fix the mob farm a bit. And so sad. Also, free cholera and food poisoning sounds great. I don't know what that's in response to, but I know it was definitely something I said. Yeah, I feel like, I bet, though, the guy stiffing you at the pub would have been stiffing you for, like, the equivalent amount of your wage. Also, I love that he buys milk buckets for emeralds, because at least we can actually see him putting them to use, unlike the villagers buying lava from you. You know, that's a good point, right? You make a very, very strong argument that he does get value in a way that no one else does. So let's just make a little safe place for our water. We'll make it into an infinite source, actually, because then we can just scoop it up later. I've learned that the amount of pain that putting my water down there brings is just not worth it. And so let's tunnel this way, bringing everything down a little bit with us. Then we're going to obviously have to make this into daytime darkness to get any real results from this. I think I might have been better off making like lots of individual planks, but again, I'm going for this old school design. Hopefully it looks old school, chat. Because if it doesn't look old school, then it's defeating its own purpose. So I almost just fell down there, but I would have fallen into water. It would have been fine. So we want to keep building on these edges, but that's hard. So do this a little bit, place some blocks there a little bit, and there we go. Ready to place. Then we do the same on this side, even though it's way less developed. We're just removing the existing dirt and placing it one block lower. I wasn't expecting to get dirt this quickly. I'm very happy we have got dirt this quickly. It just means we have to destroy our existing thing. Worst thing in pre-modern times was definitely women dying in childbirth and the infant mortality rates. You know, it's one of those things though, right? Where now that we don't appreciate that women don't die in childbirth and that infant mortality is low. Instead, we just, like, I would say it has put us into a state of fear that you would. I think there's a. This is my like, you know, again, you know, if I've had my most incel opinion, this is my most like radical. The 1800s had one thing on us opinion. I think that the one benefit of everyone out in the world being like, yep, human life is basic, you know, like I think we at least had a slightly better appreciation of like, yep, this is going to happen. When death does befall you, you're not like, oh, the tragedy. You're like, yep, that is what happens. That is what being alive in this time period be like. And sure, it sure is rough, I guess. Okay, so we want to have 8 blocks of this. Although, actually, we can just place a couple over here. So, yeah, let's do that, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this could be 8, I guess. And then we'll do the same on this side. Oh, I see why that messes up, actually. We could just place the 1 water block in that corner, and then that would technically work. We'll put a cherry slab there to make sure no mobs spawn on it. Not that I expect that they would. And we'll remove these blocks to put them back 1. Oh, that does... Yeah, it's... You know, I could use cherry here, but it's going to look so ugly, so I'm going to have to come back with more dirt. For now, just shut these down. Make a whole bunch more cherry trapdoors, maybe another 30 or so. That's scary to fall down, by the way. I don't know how I'm getting out of this. I know I don't want to do that, though. Okay, so I can swim. Not very useful. I can place a slab there. Very useful. Okay, let's go. Later stream progress is looking awesome. Keep it up. Thank you, Sean Skeeter Sullivan. I'm excited. Soon I'm going to be able to build a house. I forgot that's why I wanted my dirt. I'm so glad I have me to remind me of what I'm up to. So, yeah, I'm actually... Oh, sorry, that's why I wanted my hay, even. So now the mobs should be gone, which means I should be able to finally pick up, you know, my little piece of dirt and my pale moss carpet. So I need a lot more pale moss carpet to get this back to how it was before, because I have made big mistakes multiple times. Oh, yeah, look at that. Just, I'm missing so much carpet, chat. People still mourn and grieve, no matter the time period. Nah, I mean, you're definitely right. I guess you're definitely right. I was picturing, like, you know, if you have 5 children because you know 2 of them are going to die, I think you could just afford to be less attached to your children, right? You know, like, I feel like there's a healthiness that comes of that. Whereas now, like, if you have 1 child, if you think about it, there's like an inequality of the burden. If everyone has 5 children and there's a 40% mortality rate, then everyone on average loses 2 children. Some very rare people will lose all 5, and some people get lucky and lose none. But in reality, most people are losing, you know, on average 2, right? That's what the math says. Whereas if you've got a 1% mortality rate, we actually have something like 0.0 something. But like if we have a 1% infant mortality rate, people have 1 children, most people get out lucky, and then 1% of people are like, yep, I lost 100%. So we have like a very uneven... Also, is that a creeper down there? I heard something. So we have an uneven distribution. If Henry VIII knew that some dudes defined baby's gender, would have saved some lives. Yeah, that's... I've heard that one before, that it actually is down to the... I mean, like, even if you told him, he wouldn't believe you, right? Do you know about the guy who discovered germ theory? You know, it was in the 1800s. I remember learning about him in my history class. We had to specifically learn about, like, medical advancements. And everyone mocked this guy, chat. Everyone was like, oh, you think washing your hands is gonna stop diseases from killing people? We all know that disease comes from smell, you dumb, you know, in the same way you would treat someone if they said that disease comes from smell today. You know, it would be seen as ludicrous, as an impossible position. And so we all made fun of them, and I think I read today that that the guy who came up with germ theory died in an insane asylum. So maybe he didn't actually have a smart thing. It was like a broken clock twice a day sort of thing. But in either case, it's like, yeah, the things that we do now that we will look back on and think, what the heck? I think there's got to be so many. OMG, miasma theory of disease mentioned, says Jaden. Yeah, I love the miasma theory of disease. It's so goofy, but also, I think that if you put me in a room and say, okay, Toy Cat, you get a vague memory of diseases, but you don't get to know how they're caused. How is it that people catch cholera? It's something that makes you poop funny. I'd be like, you probably get it. You know that smell when you walk into a public bathroom and it's so bad and you feel like you have to get out? That's an instinct we have to prevent cholera. Because, you know, like, humans aren't good at eating the other humans. We have all sorts of weird instincts programmed inside of us, specifically to, like to help us not do terrible things. And so, maybe it's believable that that's one of those. So, let's make the trapdoors. And let's get this farm working. Do you think I just need to start shoveling the area around it like crazy? Because I could place cherry slabs everywhere. I think I should do cherry slabs everywhere around here. And I'm going to do a bunch of dirt pathing around this side. And then once I've done that enough blocks, then I'll bring in the... then I'll lower the simulation distance and we'll see what it does for us. To be fair, I do sometimes feel like I get sick when I smell sickness in other people. Yeah, I feel like when I go to a hospital, I'm like, I'm going to get sick now. You can call it irrational all you like. But there's a lot of human instincts that we do trust. And so knowing when to trust your human instincts and when to not trust your human instincts, surprisingly hard task. Okay, so this is 6, that's 7. So if we want to have the water flow 8 blocks, which is what it does, we need to place another dirt block over here. And the rest needs to go all the way around it. Okay, we are out of dirt again. I don't know how I brought so little. So we'll put the water... Oh, this is actually going to be messy. So water, go over there. Make sure that all the mobs can actually walk into it. That works just great. And then now we're going to break the walls around it. Actually, we have to specifically fill this in. So, like, put that back there. Oh no, the water's flowing up again. Ugh. I know the problems that causes. So then we're going to take one of these sides of water. We put it over there. And then we take the other side of... Oh, no, that's the infinite source part. How did I even get an infinite source part? We just put it back there. Then we take the final piece. And we can break the dirt around it. And hopefully, if all goes according to plan, which it does not always, we place the block here. Because then the water... Oh, no, there's just a... How have I done this so many times? Then, I've done that incorrectly. So we actually want to put the water there. And then we want to not have the water go back a couple of blocks, it seems. But there we go, chat. Nailed it. We can remove this now. And we can place that trapdoor down. And now I've got a big spawning spot where if mobs spawn, they'll walk into water and good things will happen for me. That's what I want to see. This whole second thing down here can be like something else later, hopefully. But for now, I'm feeling good. We put these down. Oh, that's a creeper. That's a big, scary creeper. So, yeah, how are mobs spawning down there, chat? Can mobs spawn on pale carpet? That's got to be the only way that makes any sense. They're actively spawning right now. That's a new golden zombie. Okay, so first of all, dirt path all of these. That has to be move number 1. I doubt they're spawning on here, but maybe. Also, look, 2 skeletons. They're on the not path bit, to be fair, but still. Insanity. I feel like you're definitely more likely to get sick at the hospital, though. Oh, but now are you just believing in my miasma theory? Like, there is more sickness at the hospital statistically. But, like, nurses don't get sick all the time. Which makes me think that we've, like, school teachers get sick all the time because they're surrounded by children. Which either suggests that hygiene is important or that the hospital doesn't actually get you there. The rare gilded zombie. It was a gilded drowned we needed back in the day. I'll have you know, because then he would drop gold. I really, to this day, chat. I think I'll wonder till my grave. Did those people really think that? Did they in their heart of hearts believe there was such thing as a gilded drowned? Or is it someone who just likes to spread misinformation? Because I can respect, you know, love of the game on spreading misinformation. Ah! Worst thing. I think there should be a thing you can buy from the Wandering Trader that prevents baby zombies from spawning. Like, they're just not a fair mob. They just don't work correctly. Like, look at that. He just took out half my health bar. I've got armor on, chat. Can you see how I lost so... Oh, okay. Go, go, go. It's pig breeding time. It's pig breeding time. Okay, so if the rain lasts long enough, eventually it's a good chance we'll get lightning, which is why we're breeding as many pigs as we can get away with. There we go. That's good. That's great. That's great. That's what I want to see. Harvest some more carrots. I might really mess up my world if I breed just a few too many. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. Because we might be getting gold today, chat. We might be getting gold. Like a form of zombie contraception. You know, if we need zombie contraception, if that's the way we want to word it, if that's the way we get it, that's the way we get it. But yeah, we need zombie contraception. Quite badly, apparently. So we've got our zombie villagers ready, lying in the wings. We're just waiting for lightning so we can get gold. I specifically don't want lightning yet. Oh no! God damn, the timing, chat. The timing on that. Okay, hopefully it didn't strike my pigs. Okay, it looks like it didn't. It didn't. We need to breed as many as we can, as quickly as we can. Oh god, I didn't want it. Okay, this is why I should not have let... I should have bred quicker. I should have just assumed this was coming soon. I didn't assume quick enough, chat. Oh, I didn't make an arse out of you or me. That's the worst. Okay, please don't get a lightning strike too soon. I know it's going to lightning for a while now. You rarely get just one. Oh god, get out of my way. I'm trying to breed pigs. Don't you guys know how important this moment is for me? You should know. This is the whole reason this world exists, guys. You stop existing if I stop existing. So I'd be more careful if I were you. Breed more pigs. Breed a lot more pigs. Real chance they just get randomly struck by lightning now. Okay, so we want to have so many pigs in here, chat. They're going to be babies for another 10 minutes, so I'm really, really boned on what to do about this. But yeah, if I get baby zombie piglins, they're worth nothing. Remember what happened last time? Yeah, I got a zombie trap. Actually, we could go around hoping for a zombie trap, right? It's a good idea to hope for. Okay, so another lightning strike. Oh god, another few lightning strikes. The way it works, I think I read it up. It's like a 1 in 100,000 chance per tick that it strikes. So you basically get a lot of lightning, but semi-randomly. I'm just breeding as many pigs as I can, as quickly as I can. I know they're gonna get struck soon, chat. I don't think baby zombie piglins drop anything. That's why I'm terrified. Oh no, it's so close. Please let them grow up into big pigs. Let them grow up big. I'm just gonna keep feeding them, because even once they're fed, it's good news, because I'll get some more adults from it, chat. I'm gonna make sure no creepers sneak up on me, but I'm gonna grow some baby pigs up. Go, keep eating, keep breeding, keep growing. I don't care how you gotta do it, just please keep going. This lightning is gonna strike. That's thunder. Sorry, you're right. I'm hearing thunder. But the thunder is signifying lightning because in Minecraft there is no difference. You know, the perfect type of pedantry is the type of pedantry that's wrong for the game that we're in. Oh, it happened! Okay. Good news, chat. We got our zombie piglins. I don't know how many we got. I would theorize not enough. Now we need to make sure we sleep so that they don't get struck again during the day. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to sleep. They don't die in the daylight, do they? If they do, I've made a horrible mistake, and I'm going to regret it. But it's okay. They're also not going to despawn, I'm sure. Yeah, they didn't. Okay. So now, chat, here's what we do. We want to kill all of these guys. We're going to need a lot of stools for that, by the way. So we'll just make a crafting table, I guess. We always need... Oh, there's a crafting table there already. Make a new crafting table, put it over here. Great. Then we're going to make ourselves some swords. Go, go, go. The despawn timer has started. Why has the despawn timer started, though? So I'm going to need more than this number of these. We'll drop these on the ground so we can make 2 more. White wool, 1 of those. Okay. So now we're going to activate the water here. Specifically to push them. No, I'm kind of worried about what that'll do for me. I think I want to break this down a block and then... Yeah, I'll push it down. I'll break it down 1 and then break there. Oh no, the babies on... Okay, the babies are getting out. I don't think they ever grow up, but it should push them all towards this corner. Hopefully they don't get out. If they do, I'm going to need a trapdoor or 2 to keep me safe. So I'll put a trapdoor... Yeah, there we go. That way nothing gets in even if I mess up. Then we need to put down a slab. Arguably, we could have done it already. It looks like the moment we break this, they're going to... No! Okay. So we've got a lot of baby zombie piglins in here. I don't think they grow up, and I don't think they drop anything. Don't zombified piglins despawn after a time? Oh no, their items do, once you start killing them. Okay, so let's start killing their babies first. This is kind of messy, actually. I need to put this trapdoor up the other way, but I might accidentally break it. Chat, I think I've got myself trapped into a death situation. Like, legitimately, I think I will die if I am not careful here. Okay, that's fine. We could just let them out. Yeah, I just want them not over here. And then I want to get back in here, and I want to put a slab... Oh, I didn't plan for this many baby zombie piglins. I know this is exactly what I did with my breeding things. Time to slow down and think clearly. That's honestly a good idea. It's a very good idea. So I'm going to leave these guys trapped in this corner. And... Oh, but then they're out. The baby zombies are going to attack me. What do I do about this all, chat? Do baby zombies attract... okay, use the water to push the... Yeah, the water's in there, right? They're being pushed this way. Oh, which means I should be able to then... The baby zombies being loose really has boned me. I can't stress enough how messed up that is for me. Okay, so I'll get all the baby zombies after me. And then I'll do some weird nonsense to make sure they can't get me. I can put them in boats. Yeah, I'll put them in boats. Yeah, I'll go boats. So I'll put the gunpowder on the ground for now. Or in here. And this in there. And, I don't know, like this. Okay, let's just craft a bunch of boats. Eventually I'll need boats for other stuff anyway. So, if we make 20 boats, 20 wood, we can make 4 boats. Yeah. Works great. Okay, and then we... Now we can place the boats over here. Over here as well, just to make sure we get that sorted. Over here we'll place a boat. I feel like the baby zombie piglins are going to cause me real distress. Okay, a few of them out over here. Okay, now I'm going to do something very reckless, chat. But I think essential. I'm going to attack this loose guy over here. Okay, so that seems very reckless. Let's see how reckless it really is. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of babies here. They can't get close to me. Oh, God. So we're going to see... Oh, my God. We're just getting rid of the babies, chat, because baby zombie piglins never grow up. Close that trapdoor. Yeah, baby zombie... Oh, they do drop gold nuggets, though. Yeah, okay. We're in luck, chat. That's really good news for us if they can drop baby... We might have managed to bred enough pigs for this to work. I think we're going to be slightly just short. We're going to be relying on the gold ingot RNG. But so far, decent RNG, which is what I want to see. Go, 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 go. I'm going to kill the babies first. And then we'll shift out to whatever else comes next. Hopefully they don't pick up each other's gold nuggets. I'm pretty sure they don't. Pretty sure it's just a fun piece of loot that I can keep myself. Okay, so we got some gold swords. We got... Oh, yeah, an enchanted gold sword. We got some gold swords. I got 7 gold nuggets. And now I've dealt with the baby zombie piglins. That's great news. I think I'm going to probably have to co-op this into my zombie pigman chest. So we'll like spread the carrots along the top row here. Then we'll do that, maybe. There we go. Put just some carrots in there just to keep things easy. And then we're also going to have to just like find a space for some of this stuff that I'm picking up too quickly to deal with. Oh, it's fire aspect, chat. That's good. If I kill... There's a way to use fire aspect I don't know about yet, but I'm not thinking about right now. Okay, so now we go kill the baby zombies that are in boats. And we're just gonna see what our numbers are going into this chat. Oh, there's a bunch of them over there. I don't like the way they're all aggressively next to me, but in theory I'm fine, chat. And if in theory I'm fine, then I feel fine. So yeah, the baby zombies, good for me. No furnace available, unfortunately. The inventory management is horrible. You know, excuse you, Chris Smith. This is the world's most beautiful inventory. I would like an apology for that needless slander towards it. Okay. So now... Well, here's the funny thing, chat. I tried so hard to escape the curse. We tried so hard not to jinx it, right? Yeah, I just wanted to grab their gold nuggets. They were gonna go stale. I always forget that boat mobs are not good mobs. Boat mobs are bad mobs. And you know what this means for me? It means that I'm now dead. But you did so much. I did so much, and now it is gone. But it'll be back. But with all of that progress wiped. Yeah. It sucks. But sometimes, when things suck, they get better on the other side. Yeah. So yeah, usually I stream every other day in a week, but this week my chat just went away, by the way. Chat. Has anyone ever done that? Where's my chat gone? Oh, there it is. So, are you gonna load a previous save since it's semi-hardcore? That is how semi-hardcore works. For now, all I want to do is be sad. Chat. This feels like it has to be enough piglins. Oh, actually, that's fun. You can see. I bet with this number of piglins, I'd have gone guaranteed enough for 1 golden apple. I feel like I'd have gone enough for 2, though. I think I'd have gone enough for 2, chat. I think it would have been great. I think it's a shame. I think it's a great shame. But that's how life be, I guess. That's how life be. At least now you can breed the pigs before lightning comes. But the lightning isn't going to come on the same schedule. The lightning might be on the same timer, but I slept. There's nothing I can learn from this. I could breed more pigs, but even then it didn't. Gaslighter, start streaming the same world, pretend it never happened, says RoboRat. Oh, that's what semi-hardcore is. I'm looking forward to seeing you in part 6 of semi-hardcore again, because we failed it this time, but we'll get them next time. Thank you very much for watching. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Oh, look, I can see from above now my emerald shape finally coming together, by the way. Oh, it looks unbalanced. It doesn't look like it's the same on either side, does it? But anyway, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed.